Good afternoon students. Welcome back to online crash course maths class. So in the last class we have completed sequences and series chapter. So in today's class we'll be solving some of the objective questions on complex numbers. In that the question number 1 it is the conjugate of the complex number 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I is, and the four options are minus I, plus I, 1 plus I, 1 minus I. So they have given the complex number and we have to find its conjugate, means we have to find z bar. If this is the complex number z, we will have to find z bar. So let us take it as z which is equals to 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I. Let us go for rationalization, multiplying and dividing by the opposite sign of the denominator. So we get 1 minus I divided by 1 minus I. Z which is equals to a minus b into a minus b will be a minus b the whole square. So 1 square it will be 1 plus b square means I square minus 2ab means we get 2i divided by 1 plus I into 1 minus I. A plus b into a minus b will be a square minus b square. Overall we get 1 square, then minus I square. I square value is already minus 1. Minus into minus we get plus. So that is also 1 square. So overall what do we have now? Z which is equals to I square value which is minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 get cancels. We have minus 2i divided by 2. So again 2 get cancels. We have minus I. Z which is equals to minus I implies the conjugate of this complex number will be z bar which is equals to I. So we have to change the sign of the imaginary part. Here the imaginary part is minus I, therefore its conjugate is I. So option 2 is the correct answer. Well, question number 2 it is, if 1 plus I root 3 whole to the power 100 which is equals to 2 raised to 99 into x plus iy, then x square plus y square which is equals to, and the four options are 2, 4, 8, 16. So here we will have to take modulus on both the sides. If x plus iy is a complex number, then mod z is going to be square root of x square plus y square. If z which is equals to x plus iy is a complex number, then its modulus is given by mod z which is equals to square root of x square plus y square. So this we have already studied in first PUC complex numbers. So now I will be taking the modulus on both the sides. Let us take modulus on both the sides. We get 1 plus I root 3 whole to the power 100. Then this is equals to 2 raised to 99, write it as it is. Then let us take modulus for this. We get x plus iy. Then the modulus of this complex number, it is in the form of x plus iy. The modulus of the complex number is square root of x square plus y square. So we get square root of x square. 1 square it will be 1 plus root 3 square. Square and root get cancels. We get 3 whole to the power 100 which is equals to 2 raised to 99 as it is. Then modulus of this complex number is square root of x square plus y square. Then here 1 plus 3 it will be 4. Square root of 4 it is 2. Overall we get 2 raised to 100 which is equals to 2 raised to 99 into square root of x square plus y square. So now take this term to the left hand side, it goes to the denominator. 2 raised to 100 divided by 2 raised to 99 will be 2. So we get 2 which is equals to square root of x square plus y square. Now square on both the sides. Squaring on both sides means square and root will be eliminated. Here 2 square will be 4. This implies x square plus y square, it will be 4. Check all the four options now. Option 2 is the correct answer. Well, question number 3 it is, if alpha and beta are the roots of x square plus x plus 1 which is equals to 0, then we have to find the value of alpha to the power 16 plus beta to the power 16. So here this quadratic equation will have complex roots because b square minus 4ac value will be less than 0 for this one. So if omega is a complex root, then the other root will be omega square. So now what I will do is, I will take the equation x square plus x plus 1 which is equals to 0. So if omega is one of the complex root, then the other complex root will be omega square. So what I will do is, let alpha which is equals to omega, then beta which is equals to omega square, because alpha and beta are the two roots of this quadratic equation. That means alpha is going to be omega and beta will be omega square. Let us consider the given condition now. Therefore, alpha to the power 16 plus beta to the power 16, which is equals to, alpha is nothing but omega to the power 16, and then plus beta is nothing but omega square whole to the power 16. So now I will write this as omega to the power 15 into omega to the power 1 plus this becomes omega to the power 32, omega to the power 32. Then, so overall it can be written as, so here what is the value of omega to the power 15? Omega cube is always 1. Omega cube equal to 1 means whenever it is a multiple of 3, the value is going to be 1. So the value of this will be 1 now. So 1 into omega will be omega plus, so here this can be written as omega to the power 30 into omega to the power 2. Again this value is going to be 1 now, omega to the power 30, it is a multiple of 3. So what do we get now overall? Omega plus omega square. So we know that in the cube roots of unity, we have studied that 1 plus omega square which is equals to 0. 1 plus omega square equal to 0. We have omega plus omega square. That means take this to the right hand side, we get minus 1. Hence the answer is minus 1. So option 2 is the correct answer. Well, the question number 4, it is the locus of z means the complex number satisfying argument of z is equals to pi by 3 is, and the 4 options are straight line, circle, ellipse, and then the hyperbola. So let us consider the given information here. So it has been given that argument of the complex number is pi by 3. So what is the meaning of the argument? Argument are amplitude, one and the same. So if z equal to x plus iy is a complex number, if z equal to x plus iy is a complex number, then the argument of this complex number is given by tan inverse y by x. It is denoted by theta. The argument of this complex number is tan inverse y by x. So here they have given the argument which is pi by 3. So this implies I can replace the argument of z by tan inverse y by x, which is equals to pi by 3. So from this we get y by x which is equals to tan pi by 3. It will be root 3. So take x to the right hand side, overall we get y which is equals to root 3 x. Y equal to root 3 x is a straight line. So option 1 is the correct. Well, question number 5, it is the amplitude of sine pi divided by 5 plus I into the bracket 1 minus cos pi divided by 5 is, and the 4 options are 2 pi divided by 5 and pi divided by 5, pi divided by 15 and pi divided by 10. So now this is in the form of sine theta. Sine theta can be written as 2 sine theta by 2 into cos theta by 2, and this is in the form of 1 minus cos theta. 1 minus cos theta can be written as 2 sine square theta by 2. So let us go ahead with the solution. So z which is equals to sine theta can be written as 2 sine theta by 2. So this is theta now. Theta by 2 means we get pi divided by 10 into cos pi by 10 plus I write it as it is. Then 1 minus cos theta can be written as 2 sine square theta by 2, that is pi divided by 10. So in these two terms we can take 2 into sine pi by 10 as a common term. Z which is equals to 2 into sine pi by 10 common. So we are left out with cos pi by 10 plus I we have one more term now, that is sin pi by 10. Sin pi by 10. Now this is in the form of z equal to r into the bracket cos theta plus I sin theta. This is the polar form of the complex number. Here this is going to be pi by 10 is the amplitude or the argument of the complex number. So here we will have to find amplitude. Search by the options. Option 4 is the correct answer. Well, question number 6, it is the equation mod z plus 1 minus I, which is equals to mod z minus 1 plus I, represents 4 options are straight line, circle, parabola and hyperbola. Here I will take z as x plus iy. So now mod, in place of z I will be writing x plus iy, then plus 1, then minus I, which is equals to mod x plus iy minus 1 plus I. So now we will have to separate the real part and the imaginary part. So here x plus 1 is a real part, mod x plus 1, and then in these two terms I can take I common, we get y minus 1, which is equals to, again we have to separate the real parts and the imaginary part. So x minus 1 is the real part, plus I can take it common, we get y plus 1. So now we will have to take the modulus of this complex number as well as this complex number. So what was the formula? Modulus of a complex number, it is square of the real part plus square of the imaginary part, x plus 1 the whole square. So x square plus 1 plus 2x plus, now it is y square, y means y minus 1 here, so square of this one, so y square plus 1 minus 2y, which is equals to square root of, again take the modulus of this particular complex number, square of the real part plus square of the imaginary part. So x square plus 1 minus 2x plus y square plus 1 plus 2y. Now in order to eliminate the square root, we have to square on both the sides so that these two will be eliminated. Squaring on both the sides, then simplify. After that x square and x square get cancels after squaring on both the sides, and then y square and y square get cancels. So 1 plus 1 it will be 2, and here also 1 plus 1 it will be 2. 2 and 2 get cancels. 2 and 2 get cancelled. So write the remaining term here. It is 2x minus 2y. 2x minus 2y, which is equals to, then here it is minus 2x plus 2y. Now take these two terms to the left hand side. Minus 2x, if you take it to the left hand side, it becomes plus 2x. Overall we get 4x. And then now take this to the left hand side, it becomes minus 2y. Minus 2y will be minus 4y, which is equals to 0. Now take 4 common in this and send it to the right hand side, it becomes 0. Overall we get y, which is equals to x, or x equal to y. So this indicates it is a straight line. The question number 7, it is, if 1 plus I by 1 minus I whole to the power x is equals to 1, then the 4 options are x equal to 2n plus 1, x equal to 4n, x equal to 2n, and x equal to 4n plus 1. So where n is any integer. So here what we have to find is, for what value of x we get the left hand side is equals to 1. So let us simplify this complex number now. 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I. So I will go for the rationalization now. 1 plus I divided by 1 plus I whole to the power x, which is equals to 1. So now the numerator is in the form of a plus b into a plus b, will be a plus b the whole square. So what we get now, a square plus b square, that is I square, plus 2ab, it will be 2i. Then the denominator, a minus b into a plus b will be a square minus b square. A square, 1 square means it is 1, then minus b square means it is I square, minus I square. So I square value it is minus 1, minus into minus we get plus 1 to the power x, which is equals to 1. So here I square value will be minus 1, plus 1 minus 1 get cancels. What do we have now? 2i divided by 2. 2i divided by 2 whole to the power x, which is equals to 1. So again 2 and 2 get cancels. We have I to the power x is equals to 1. So we all know the property of power of I raised to 4n will be 1, I to the power 4n. So this implies x which is equals to 4n. So search for the options now. Option 2 is the correct answer. Well, question number 8 it is the real value of alpha for which the expression 1 minus I sin alpha divided by 1 plus 2i sin alpha is purely real is. Purely real indicates the imaginary part of this complex number must be 0. So here I will go for the solution. So the imaginary part of the given complex number must be 0 for purely real. So the imaginary part of 1 minus I sin alpha divided by 1 plus 2i sin alpha, 2i sin alpha must be 0 for purely real. So now in order to make the imaginary part as 0, sin alpha term must be 0. Sin alpha term must be 0 means what will be the alpha? By verification, if alpha is n pi, then sin becomes 0. Sin n pi it is 0. So this implies alpha which is equals to n pi. So by verifying the options we have got the answer as alpha equal to n pi. Search for the options now. Option 3 is the correct answer. Well, question number 9 it is which of the following is a square root of 8 plus 6i, and the 4 options are 1 minus 3i, 3 plus i, minus 1 plus 3i, 3 minus I. So here we will have to verify through the options. I will take first option and check whether it is a square root of 8 plus 6i or not. If it is not, I will go for the second option. Let me take the first option. So what I will do is square root of 8 plus 6i. This is equals to, so I will take the first option now. If first option is the correct answer, then we should get left hand side equal to right hand side. To eliminate this square root, square on both the sides now, what do we get? 8 plus 6i, this is equals to, so squaring on both the sides means we get a minus b the whole square. So a square, that is 1 square, it will be 1, plus b square, plus 3 square, it is 9i square, then minus 2ab will be 6i. So what do we get now? 8 plus 6i which is equals to, so I square value will be minus 1. We get 1 minus 9. It will be minus 8 minus 6i. So here LHS is not equal to RHS. That means option 1 is not the correct answer. Let us take up the option 2 now. So here now square root of 8 plus 6i which is equals to 3 plus I. Now square on both the sides. So what do we get? 8 plus 6i which is equals to a plus b the whole square now. So 3 square it will be 9 plus I square plus 6i. So now 8 plus 6i which is equals to I square value it is minus 1. 9 minus 1 it will be 8 plus 6i. So for the second option we are getting LHS equal to RHS. That means option 2 is the correct answer. This is all about question number 9. Well, the question number 10 it is if alpha and beta are different complex numbers with modulus of beta which is equals to 1, then modulus of beta minus alpha divided by 1 minus alpha bar into beta which is equals to. So here they have given that alpha and beta are different complex numbers and the modulus of beta must be 1. So what I will do is I will go for the substitution now. Let alpha which is equals to 0, let alpha which is equals to 0 and beta which is equals to 1. So take modulus both the sides now, mod beta becomes mod 1, it will be 1. So our condition is true now. And they have given alpha and beta are different complex numbers now. So this can be written as 0 plus I into 0 and this can be written as 1 plus I into 0. Substitute these two values in the given condition. Therefore, Therefore, what do we get now? 1 minus 0 divided by 1 minus, so here alpha bar, that means the conjugate of this complex number, it is again 0. 0 into 1, it will be 0. So overall what do we get now? 1 minus 0, it is 1. 1 by 1, mod 1, it will be 1. So search for the options now. Option 3 is the correct answer.